Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Push Podcast. My name's Sydney. I am a labor and delivery nurse and online educator in the birth postpartum world.
And I'm Dr. Meghan. I'm an OBGYN clinical researcher and new mom myself. And we have a very special episode for you guys today.
Yes.
For anybody joining us on YouTube or on TikTok or Instagram, you may see that we have a few new friendly faces with us today.
Hi, besties. We've got Mama Nurse Tina, Kara the baby nurse, and Labor Junkie RN, also known as Sarah. We are so excited to have you guys on the Push Podcast today.
This is awesome.
Hi.
Yeah.
If you are familiar with BirthTok, with labor and delivery education platforms, with gynecology or women's health platforms, you may recognize these faces as well. And today we're going to be talking about something that I think is very heartfelt for all of us here, right? Mm-hmm. Which is why we do this, why we show up online. What are the stories, the motivations, the things that continue allowing us to be present on the internet and share information with you guys in a way that we hope is helpful and empowering and informative. Totally. Without further ado, why don't we let our lovely guests introduce themselves a little bit? Tina, why don't you start us off?
Yeah, I am Tina. My name is Mama Nurse Tina Online. I'm present on all the platforms, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, and just really happy to be here as part of everybody's journey.
Hey, I'm Kara the baby nurse online, and I'm also on all the platforms. And I do education on pregnancy, birth, postpartum, and beyond.
Mm-hmm. And I'm Sarah. I'm Labor Junkie RN on all the platforms as well. I'm a mom of 3, and I'm a high-risk labor postpartum nurse, and just trying to share whatever knowledge I have so people can make empowered, informed decisions for themselves.
Mm-hmm. And you guys, they have been working all day. We've been at a conference, and it is honestly so nice to hear your voices that they're still there, because Sarah usually loses her voice
Every time.
every conference. So today I was like, anytime she was talking to someone, I was like, I'm going to swoop right in so that she can still film the podcast.
Save it for the pod. Save it for the pod.
Trying.
Literally.
Trying.
So Sarah's the SLPs. We saw you today. It was great. It's awesome to see that intersection between all of the disciplines. It was awesome.
The wealth of knowledge, honestly.
Yeah, it was cool.
We see you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well, speaking of wealth of knowledge, I am so grateful that you are all here. As Sydney knows, I have been stumbling at times through navigating social media and being able to do this knowledge translation in a meaningful way. And really, we're sitting with 4 seasoned experts today. Mm-hmm. And so to start us all off on a light note, on something fun, I would love to know, what are some of the fun or funny or maybe not so funny, slightly insulting comments you guys have gotten recently on some of your posts? Because
how sad do you want to feel?
Yeah, truly.
How sad.
All we got to start with is Facebook.
I was just saying, let's hold on Facebook.
It's Facebook on the table.
That's all the inspo you do.
It's early in the evening. Yeah, let's start light.
Somebody once told me that I have a hateable face. Like they just it had nothing.
Well, you do, Tina.
I absolutely do.
I love you. You have a lovable face.
It was good to be here.
I just want to squeeze your cheek.
Just straight out. You have a hateable face. I was like, that has nothing to do with what we're talking about. But thank you for your input.
Somebody told me
You can't even say it.
they can't know that it's kind of funny, or they're going to keep being mean to me. They told me I'm an Alabama 7 at best.
Wait.
I'm Canadian. I don't even know
What are the Canadians in the table? What does that mean? Yeah.
Like Alabama.
I don't know, y'all.
It's
like a southern, like
people like to rate you
country
by states. They'll be like a Utah.
you're an Alabama 7 at best.
Utah, like a good state?
No,
They're all good states.
Like
They're just
everyone.
different. Yeah.
It's just people just being crazy.
People being crazy.
Yeah.
That would be like
Doesn't
being
fit.
you're an Alberta.
yeah.
Southern.
Kara, I feel like I know Kara.
Saskatchewan 6.
You're a Newfoundland 10. I don't know if
10.
There was someone making fun of my head shape.
Yeah. Oh, this one's good.
So inside.
They're like, I've never seen anyone with a head shaped like a Tic Tac.
TikTok sponsor this girl, right?
TikTok mascot right here.
My husband and I were dying laughing.
You're not even mean.
We're going to bleep that out until TikTok comes to the table with a brand deal here.
The orange one.
I love the orange ones. They're not mints, they're orange.
They're orange.
Yeah, that's good.
Sydney, I feel like your mom has been our personal podcast bully a little bit.
Absolutely.
Sam has
The feet. She hated that our feet were showing in our socks.
Yeah, if anyone has noticed from our early videos to our later videos, they're now distinctly cropped at calf height, and that is because of one Sam
She's
Fuller.
very like she's like you need to look professional, and you can't have mismatched socks in the picture, which is fair.
I'm gonna tell y'all out there in Canada, we don't wear our shoes in the house.
We do not.
So when we're in the house doing whatever
wrong.
podcast, whatever, no shoes, just socks, no shoes. We don't do it. We don't. So that's probably why there's socks.
Yeah,
Makes sense.
People are
It's
like,
honestly my biggest point of contention, Canada versus US in many ways. Is
The shoes.
Why? The shoes in the house.
I watch realty shows and I'm like, reality shows.
Yeah.
I'm like, why are you wearing your high heels and like $1 million outfits?
It's like family to family.
Oh,
Yeah.
goodness me.
I'm going to go on a big tangent here, but how do you keep your carpets clean and your floors clean? Do you just
You don't.
do you just vac
you just don't. Okay.
That's an Alabama 7, right?
Okay, Meg, have you read any crazy comments in your first couple months of being on social media?
Oh my God, yes. So many comments. I've been wanting to keep them documented. A lot of people who take major issue with some of the things that we've said, kind of deliberately misunderstanding us. But I think the one that made me laugh the most recently wasn't about even it was barely about our content, certainly wasn't about our appearance, but someone commented on a just for fun. I posted a Halloween post that was really just for fun. It was just for the lulz. And someone commented on it, this is garbage, but also mildly interesting. And something about mildly interesting just felt like the biggest serve to me. It's like when all you can say about somebody is they're nice, right? It's just there's nothing else notable about it. It was
they're mid.
wow, okay, cool.
Well, that's what with I went to a Billie Eilish concert. So I love Billie Eilish. I've been doing content for 3 years. And I never stray. I stay very true to my niche. And I posted one video about Billie Eilish, and somebody wrote, "I came here for birth content." And I said, "There's 700 videos about an actual 700 videos about birth." And she was like, "Yeah, but
Oh, I can't.
What about meism?
yeah,
I
it's
know.
just. I mean,
It's about you.
you do what you can, and
Yeah.
we leave it at
I
that.
don't understand. I don't understand. Because I just would never. If I see something I don't like, I just scroll.
It's the anonymity.
I just,
Yeah.
Why do you have to comment
and on
everything that pops into your brain?
And the frustrating thing is that the comment has nothing to do with the video. It'd be the most educational, smart video, and they're like, "You have something in your teeth," and I'm like, "I don't though. It's just a gap." But thanks. Thanks. But
Honestly, it's a bit of a shame though, because now we're having to create our content with all of these things in mind, right? We can't just sit down and film a video. We have to be like, well, someone might take it this way. So then we need to change it and do this, or we need to put disclaimers everywhere, right?
yeah. Or Kara has to put on the non-tic-tac filter.
Then
I need a round head filter. Could I get?
Oh, gosh.
I think especially when we're talking about pregnancy and postpartum and OBGYN, there's so much it's an area of medicine that is in such tension right now, right? In so many ways, between providers, nurses, doctors, between our patients who feel that they're receiving better information elsewhere sometimes for some reasons that are fairly valid, and others that feel really unfair, right? So how do you guys cut through the cacophony of all of these different motivations, all of these different things? What's the root for everyone of what keeps you going, what brought you to this space to begin with?
You want to start? Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's just important to, and I think everyone agrees, but it's important to have good quality information that is equitable and accessible to everybody. And I think that there are a lot of people where there's maternal deserts, or there's a lack of information or lack of support and resources. And so having places that you can go where you know the information is good quality and it's appropriate, and knowing that you can access that at any time. You don't have to pay for it. It's just right there. We have beautiful resources of prenatal classes and prenatal courses and subscription models, but like that's not for everyone and it's not accessible to everyone.
Yeah.
So I think it's just a really, really nice resource for people to feel, you know, that they're involved in their own care and that they're educated and informed.
Yeah. Yeah. The deserts are right? Like
Yeah, it's a real thing.
many of us work in larger centers, but there are so many areas of both of our countries where access to any kind of healthcare provider, right, is really, really difficult.
And I think so then just simply saying, well, the answer is just to fire your provider and pick another one. It's not not an option for everybody.
Yeah.
So I think you need to be supported with that information. And so it's part of the solution, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
Mine is really similar to Tina's. The reason I started, I posted a video randomly that went viral, and then it was about something totally different. It was about going to work in a snowstorm, but like people realized I was a postpartum nurse, and then they were like, "Oh, let me ask you this question," because it was like right after COVID, and so people had all these questions, and I was like bombarded, and I was like, "Oh my gosh!" Like, look how many questions there are. And there were like, I mean, I think I followed you, probably followed a bunch of nurses, but I was like, I mean, I don't know. I feel like I'd like to share some thoughts too. Like, you know, there's always room for everyone to share more. And so, yeah. And then like, you know, same thing, like people get mad at their providers or whatever. And it's like the system is very broken. It's not always your doctor. They're limited to, you can relate. You're limited to very limited time. And I'm sure you would love to talk to your patients for long periods of time, answer all the questions, but it's a lot and not everyone can do that. So I would love to fill in all of the gaps with all this stuff because it's so much. It's a ton of information. So
And Kara's like the number one question answerer.
Oh, she's
always
Very engaged with her viewers.
Yeah.
like
that's very sweet.
you spend so much time answering people's DMs and messages and just talking to people.
I know. I saw that question when we were talking about boundaries. I was like, "Ooh, that's
Yeah, we're like, Kara,
You're just so
some of the
you're
DMs.
just so caring. Like that's just you. Like you just love to support people and answer them.
and they're like thoughtful response. Like they're not just like, blah, blah, blah. It's like you take time and energy and thought.
Response, not a reaction.
Yeah.
I'd say that about you guys too, all of you.
It's a love fest.
Pretty much shut down.
We'll talk about boundaries, and I need to be more like you. So,
We all can take pages from each other.
yeah.
Sydney, why do you do it?
I think it's similar. I was actually hearing Sarah talk to someone today at the conference, and she was saying how we can only reach so many people in practice at the bedside, right? And being able to share all of this information online to potentially hundreds of thousands of people, millions sometimes, is just so fulfilling, you know, to be able to take what we want to tell everyone and actually be able to amplify it on a much bigger platform and be able to hopefully, fingers crossed, help so many other people out there is truly why I continue to do this, no matter how many hate comments I get and comments that make me cry and question everything. And you guys were there when I got one of the worst comments of my life, which we will not talk about, but it can be scary out there and really, really hard. But at the end of the day, if I can make another mama's life out there easier and her birth experience better, I will continue to post on social media. Absolutely. Yeah. How about you, Sarah?
Well, mine was like tunnel vision from day one. Because I didn't even exist on TikTok. I never watched a TikTok in my life. And I've been a nurse for 16 years. So I had been doing it for a little while at that point.
Yeah.
And patients would come in. I do high risk labor, postpartum. I also have midwifery clients. And they would be starting like inductions or doing procedures or agreeing to procedures and interventions, which are fine. It was nothing inherently wrong with them, but they had no education whatsoever. They come in to be induced. I have no clue why. I had no idea what preeclampsia is that they were just diagnosed with. No idea how, like anything about newborns, anything about formula, breastfeeding, how to hold a baby, how to change a diaper. And you have 9 months leading up to that where the system has completely failed them. I love my patients and I love sharing like I can't not share what I know. It's impossible for me not to like give them like whatever knowledge I have. But the fact is, like, not every provider, not every nurse has the skill of teaching, because it is a skill. So sometimes a nurse's skills are going to be her nurse's skills, and like that may take priority. It may be a competing task over teaching, depending on the patient's acuity. So we have 9 months leading up to it where they're on social media.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to reach as many people as humanly possible. There's financial and racial disparities that I witness every single day that are very real. And I do feel like I have the skill of teaching to some extent, and I have a lot of knowledge and I have a lot of experience, and I'm trying to resonate with the younger population because these are the people coming in having babies. So I don't want to tell them what to do. I don't have an opinion on how they have their babies, but I want to give them the newest evidence in a judgment-free, loving way, and trust them to make decisions about their bodies. Because I think women already are sort of put in a position where the world tells us what to do with our bodies, with ourselves. They make decisions for us. We're a little bit patronized, and I think, like, why don't we trust them, give them the information, and let them take it from there? So from day one, I just was like, if I want to do this, everybody's on TikTok. Yeah, you know, I have to get on TikTok. So like my first video all the way up to present is Birthy World. So
Yes.
and a little Billie Eilish.
1 out of 7.
Pissed about that. Yeah.
How did you do that?
You're an entertainer.
Oh my gosh, you guys never stop doing it, because you all spread so much great information, and you've helped so many people that you can never stop. You can never stop.
I can't at this point. How can you? Yeah.
Well, the reach is so broad too, right? Like, truly, I think I probably have seen one of all of your videos before I even met you. I mean, and obviously have been following Sydney's trajectory right from the start, but it's crazy how many people, you know, 10,000, 50,000, 100,000, a million people actually is, right? Like how many people you're actually able to impact just with one video that provides some good information. It took me a while, obviously, to start to dip my toe into this. And even still, I'm not like all the way in. But
Pool can be real cold.
the pools were cold. The pools were real cold, Tina.
Dip it in.
I need some floaties for it. But I feel like I kind of reached a critical mass for many of the reasons that you guys talked about. And also probably because I was reaching a critical mass with how much annoyance Sydney could tolerate from me, because I was constantly sending her things and saying, you have to talk about this. Yeah. You have to talk about this on your account. This is so important. You have to talk about this. But I remember this one case. And this, obviously, I was 0% involved in this person's care. It wasn't in my city. It wasn't even in my country. It was in the US. There was a case of a patient a few years back who had had a cesarean scar pregnancy. And there was all of this debate, and I kept seeing it, like this news article posted over and over and over on TikTok of all places. I think I was on my mat leave, wasn't I, Sid? I think it was like early in my mat leave. So I was just deeply online, like very much just doom scrolling at 3 a.m. every night, breastfeeding. And it was one of those moments where that is a main point of research for me. And it is a primary thing that I did in my subspecialty fellowship in advanced gynecologic surgery. And so it was, again, very similar, where I was like, there are only a few people really in Canada, and certainly a few more people in the US, but a very small pool of experts in this area. And I'm watching this roll out, and I'm like, but no, that's not right. And like, no, like this is what this becomes. And I was like composing these like paragraphs and paragraphs to Sydney, where I was like, but someone has to address this, right? Because there's so many misconceptions about this incredibly nuanced, incredibly complex ectopic pregnancy. And if we're talking about the real ramifications of these things, right? Not just for individual patients, yes, but also in policy, right? In the law and in how we end up talking about these things. It's so important to have that addressed. And I think that was kind of what launched me over the edge.
You got carpal tunnel, you're like, okay, that's it.
I was like, I can only
And I'm never making videos on it, because I have multiple messages from my mom saying, you gotta do this, you gotta do that. And then and then patients. I always say patients, but people online who are also messaging and being like, you need to try this, you need to do this. And it's like also working full time. Anyways.
Oh, to be clear, Sydney rightfully like ghosted me on.
the worst texter. I'm a bad texter. I'm trying to be better.
Said like, oh yeah, you should send me some information on that.
That'll keep her busy.
Listen, we made the push podcast and we can share more long form content here, which is better, I think, at the end of the day.
Yeah.
All right. I also wanted to ask you guys, I don't know, whoever wants to go first, but how do you feel your practice has changed based on starting your social media journey and starting to post online more? Do you feel like it's changed at all? Has it stayed the same? How's your bedside manner or anything you've done at work shifted at all?
Okay.
Yeah,
I'll go
Kara.
first. I feel like it's made a huge difference because one, all of us can probably agree we're doing way more research than if I was just bedside. I'd just be going to work, doing my job. I do my little like trainings with work, but really I learn way more because I'm researching topics that I probably wouldn't honestly delve into. I'm like, I mean, we'll spend hours on something. You will spend hours on something, like especially
Hours. Yeah.
you know, like because we can't just post stuff and be like blah, here it is. Like
No.
you cannot do that when you're a medical content creator. You need to be responsible. We're not giving medical advice, but you're giving advice and it needs to be correct information. So when going to work, like that's one aspect of it. You've done a lot of research on something and you'll go to work and you'll be like, oh, that's something that I studied and I know some random fact about. And that's really cool that you can apply it at work and sometimes tell your coworkers and things change. But also I feel like content creating has super changed the way I just like talk about people and especially with like disparities in healthcare, about race. Like it is just, you are so open to a whole variety of people online telling you their story and being like, this is what happened in my birth. And you're like, oh my gosh, you told me something that I would never have thought about before. I'm going to be careful about the way I word things, change the way I practice. Like so many, like, can you guys agree? Like it changes so many things you say and do differently.
Oh my God. I think like one of the gifts of social media and this like intensely globalized internet era that we're living in right now is just like proximity, right? Like we have so much more proximity to people who are not like us, right? Like to stories that are very different from ours. And I think like you have all done a really good job at like a really wonderful job at grabbing onto like the humanity of that, you know, and having that be the thing that informs your content creation, but also your practice, it sounds like. Oh my God, Karen, I have to agree with you. Like there is no better CME than doing social media. I have CME, guys, is like continuing medical education, and certainly for doctors, but I assume for nurses as well. Like we can't actually just like go forth and practice forever. Like if we want to keep our licenses, we actually have to like log hours in different endeavors that are meant to keep us up to date and meant to prove that we are still learning in practice.
Maybe one day it'll start counting towards that.
I honestly haven't even looked into it, but there's been nothing I have done ever. And I like lecture at conferences and I do all these things that count. I go to half day and I go to grand rounds and all these things and journal clubs. And this is the best CME I've ever done.
You're passionate.
It has kept me so up to date. Yeah.
Absolutely. And Sarah, too, you even have in your bio, you know, evidence-based. Like you base all of your videos
You gotta be able to back it.
And evidence changes, right?
Evidence changes.
There are videos I made a year ago that I need to update, you know, because the evidence is different now.
Yeah.
So,
and I feel strongly about people not just following people. Like if you're a content creator, I think it's important to follow people that maybe have a POV different from yours. Don't just be like, I am this person and I don't like doulas. Like it's you need to hear other voices and be open to hearing things because there are people or patients that is appropriate for. And so like think about things from other people's perspectives.
Otherwise, it's confirmation bias, right? Like you're basically forming. And so this is why I don't understand why there are some creators online, both professional and unprofessional, not unprofessional, professional, registered, unregistered, professions, where they only have that one viewpoint. And so you're thinking like, I know things are changing. I know guidelines are changing. I know the evidence is changing. So why the rigidity? I think that everybody here, at least, like, I think we all do a really good job of researching not only the point of view that we agree with or we think we agree with, but also researching the opposite side to be like, what is this side?
why do people think this?
Because I always say, I don't think anybody is choosing something different than I would choose out of malice.
No, no.
I think that they really do feel like that is the best choice for them and their family. Like no one is out there being like, I want to pick something that's going to harm me.
No.
So I think you really have to see that side of it to really become a well-balanced content creator that is relevant, that is evidence-based, you know, that is respectful of everybody's point of view. It's important.
And then I think whenever you're translating that into content or at the bedside, when you're only doing bedside nursing or you're only in one little profession surrounded by, I don't know, 30, 40, 70 of the same 100 people who've created their own culture, then you are part of the medical side of that.
Yeah.
They are the patients. As far as the research, I've always been like a research nerd. Birthy things are fun and interesting to me. I'm always into that. So my research hasn't necessarily picked up because I do content. But what has changed is now I feel like I've always loved my patients. I've always advocated for my patients. But now I feel like content has put me in my patient's world. And now I'm almost an outsider as the nurse when I come in the best way, because you know, if my patient came in and they wanted to do something that other clinicians or like nurses did not understand, I still advocated, I still supported, but I would sort of be like, that's kind of weird. So when you're online and you're forced neutrality, right? Because I say I'm judgment free. I've got to be judgment free. And I believe the same thing. I believe like when people are making these decisions, it's because they feel that that's the right thing for them. They feel it's the safest and the best for them. And like, I have to let go and give them their autonomy. When you are like off work, you're creating content, you're getting these stories and you're interacting with with people who would have been your patients. There's no like time constraint. I don't have to chart. I don't have to like, there's nothing with time management. Like I'm now just in my normal life hearing stories and we're befriending each other in a way. So when I go to work, I now feel like, I don't feel like it's nurses and it's patients. I feel like it's weird that they don't understand where my patients are coming from now. You know, it doesn't, it feels, it's shifted. Like I feel way more like bridging the gap, I feel way more intertwined, feel way more like sympathetic and understanding. And it has 100% changed how I treat patients who are at risk for like disparities, financial, racial disparities. I've always known it was there. I've always believed it, but it's different being a white nurse taking care of a Black patient and being like, I know that she's at like a 2.73 times greater chance of maternal mortality. How does that change my practice though? So what do I do with that? When I have Black women online telling me, if you say this, if you say that, if they tell me how it feels, or what I can do to make them feel safe, to make them feel heard and listened to, like that is like a real, like tangible thing I can do. Straight from the source. It's not me like coming up with what I think as a white woman I should be doing to cater to them. Like I get it now. And I'll never really get it, but I get what they need from me way better than any online module.
Provide better support.
An online module is not gonna, no. I need Black women to tell me what they need from me.
And people will tell me like, oh, thank you for the whatever the video is. But I'm like, you guys have taught me. Like I have learned, I've gathered all this information for everyone and then I can share it. So like, thank you for telling me.
And, you know, a prime example of this for people who might be listening, they may have heard of that video that just went viral very recently.
There's two. There's a second one now.
Within the week of the first one was the one in Dallas of the woman who was literally giving birth in a merge in a wheelchair. And there was,
she was doing the one bunch. I was like, how did you?
And then the other woman who ended up delivering it
in her car 8 minutes later.
12 minutes. Minutes after she was discharged.
And you know, people are freaking out over that online, as they should, absolutely. But these things have been happening for so long, for years, and nothing has happened. Nothing has changed.
And if there are content creators out there who are not talking about things like this, I can just tell you from speaking with other content creators who are advocates in the space, who are Black content creators, they are like begging white content creators to speak about it, because again, things are so messed up that white content creators platforms are able to more easily spread this knowledge, this information, this awareness than Black
privilege.
content creators who are living this day in and day out. So that is our ask, is like, just don't ever stop talking about it. It's so important.
Yeah.
And follow people that you don't normally interact with.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's you cannot live in your little bubble. You've got to like intentionally follow, like if I go to work and like it's predominantly this type of like race or income or whatever, I've got to find people that of all over the spectrum, financially, racially, like what they believe, how they practice. I've got to understand, and I've got to like be willing to learn.
Yeah.
So,
Absolutely.
It sounds like it's allowed all of us here to really like take a step back and gain some perspective, see the forest through the trees. We say all the time on the podcast that things are rarely and ors, or things are rarely like either ors, they're always ands, right? Multiple things are always true. And sometimes I feel like when we're in the thick of like an obstetrical floor, things just move so quickly and they're so intense and there's so much stress on so many sides that it becomes very difficult sometimes to see outside of like your own little group. And for all of us, it's on the nursing and medicine side of things, right?
Totally.
It becomes hard to understand sometimes why somebody wouldn't just take your advice, right? And then it's like, and it lends into this adversarial thing, right? Where it's like, we're just trying to help.
it's
Like,
us against
why
you.
won't you do that? And then it's adversarial suddenly. But like, I think that this is a good break, right? Like it's pumping the brakes on that mentality and allowing us the opportunity to like actually step back and listen in many ways, right? Because it's not to say that any of us don't actually just really want to help even in those moments, but understanding why somebody might not be willing to receive that at that time, I think is invaluable.
And I don't know how it is in Canada, but in America, we have a very murky past in women's health. Like very murky. So you can't pretend that didn't exist. And you can't pretend that's not why people are distrustful of medical professionals. So when you have people that come in and they're second guessing like interventions, procedures, they're asking questions, they want to take a beat. This isn't a personal offense. It's not because they think I'm a bad provider. This is like, we cannot take it personally. And they deserve us understanding why they got there. We like,
Absolutely.
that's part of our history. It's a fact. Like look into birth in the 50s. It's not pretty.
It's not nice.
Should never have happened, at least in America. We can't pretend that wasn't just 70 years ago. So you cannot blame people or act like they're weird or when they're challenging. Yeah, even the way we put babies to bed, SIDS reduction, the way we feed babies. 30 years ago, we were giving babies water, right? We would never
Putting them to bed on their stomach.
but we were telling them that. So, and again, it's okay. We all thought this is what was best. We've current research now, but you can't blame people or take it personally when they're like, whoa, guys, you told us something different a little bit. Like, how do I know? Like, let me just think about this. You know, that's part of building trust, is acknowledging that that's real. And then you throw in racial disparities and financial disparities. So I think it's important. Taking a beat, also not taking things personally and like meeting them where they're at.
Agreed.
Tina, you were going to say something?
Oh, I was just going to say, like, and this is why we talked about like or like that we can take in those differing like perspectives, and so that's again why I don't understand why there are providers or nurses or content creators who do prescribe to that, like this is the way it is and this is the only way it is. Can be.
Absolutes are very comfortable.
Yeah.
It's comfortable to have a formula, to have black and white, to have an absolute.
You know?
It's uncomfortable when somebody comes in
Gray's
and like, well, what if we do? What if we? It's it's hard.
Yeah.
You know, it's comfortable to be like, this is the way.
Totally.
Yeah,
But it's just, I think like I do think if you want to be responsible online, like you have to open your perspective because those like hard black and whites are causing harm. They're causing self-doubt. They're causing people to clam up if they did want to question something and they feel that pushback. You know,
exactly.
And causing trauma.
And it's absolutely, we have a birth trauma rate that is like on the rise. 1 in 3 people are saying that they report birth trauma from their birth experience, which is like insanity, right? And so I think the more that they have it, we're also, I think, driving people who may not have wanted a home birth, who may not be appropriate for a home birth. We're pushing them to have home births, which and then is internally like causing this harm and expediting this harm, increasing birth trauma if things don't go as planned. I mean, hopefully if people are pushed into a home birth, it goes amazing. But I mean, like the reality is that it's not for everybody, but those people may have felt such an awful experience in their past that they're like, the only option for me is to take this out of the hospital, out of the facility. So I think there are some really rigid professionals out there who really need to be like, wow,
Humble.
maybe
Yeah.
I need
Ready to change.
maybe I need to check out for a second
Yeah.
before I check back in. 'Cause things are changing all the
I
time.
just made a video on free births because people were asking what it is. And I said in that video that it is a privilege to be able to enter into a hospital and be able to deliver your baby and feel
Feel safe.
Feel safe and respected.
because that is not something that every single person feels when they walk into the
I
hospital.
mean, look at those two Black women. Like that. Like that's a prime
Do you think
example.
they'll ever want to go back to a hospital
Never.
again?
I sure as hell wouldn't.
Yeah.
Like not on your life
Yeah.
would I ever go back to a place like that.
Yep. Yep.
And that's what it'd be.
And in many ways, although I would, hazard a guess that none of us at this table feel as though we've been the people to perpetuate this. Although, like, there are many ways in which we can't know whether we have or haven't.
Yeah.
I still do think it is our responsibility as people who've entered into this profession to own the sins of the past, right? And to like
Do better.
atone for them and try to like do this outreach, like really be open and honest and patient-centered with respect to our counseling, with the information we provide, and ultimately, I think with our willingness to let go too, right? This is a little bit blunt, but I once had, like, early in like med school, I had a mentor tell me, I got all riled up about something. I was like a baby medical student, and I'd seen a patient in a family practice clinic, and I don't remember. I have no idea what the issue was, but I remember coming out and being like, Dr. So-and-so, they just really need to do this thing. Like, this thing is going to really help them, and I don't understand why they're not going to do it. And I've really tried to convince them to do it. And she sat me down and she was like, Meghan, competent adults are allowed to make bad decisions.
Yeah. Oh,
Right?
yeah.
That you think
And
are
that
bad.
I think are bad. Exactly. Like, and it may not be a bad decision for
Maybe
them,
not for
right? Because
them.
we see such a snapshot of people's life experience. And even if I can weigh the pounds, right, and say, you know what, this actually is not the right, like,
Yeah.
if we're trying to put a proportion on the outcome you want, this is not the thing that's going to lend you there. People are allowed to choose something differently. Our jobs are not to direct people's lives, right? Our jobs are to provide good information and then to walk with them through that process.
That's right.
You
And
know,
when they make their own decision, then our job is to
But that's
support
really
them.
the goal.
Yeah.
The goal, like that's what I always say, is just like giving them benefits, risks, alternatives, and if they're fully informed, you've got to let it go. And I think
Soldier.
when you've been doing this for 16, 17 years, I feel like a sign of immaturity or newness in the field is when you are really like, by the shoulder,
The butt cleanse.
yeah.
Protocol says I have to do this.
And when you do own the sins of the past, and when you do look and be like, this is a very real thing, and I get where I get that.
Yeah.
And you will
Then
never
you
change
let-
anyone's mind being
No,
rude
being
and
rigid and
No.
not meeting them where they're at.
Yeah.
With
That's the
experience
quickest way to make them shut down.
is to tell them they're doing heinous things. Yeah, I think with experience, with time, with like meeting people, broadening your bubble, you get comfortable with different shades. You get comfortable that most of the things you see will not be black and white. You get comfortable being like, this looks like this is going to be a multip who's having baby number 5, and everything should go perfectly and beautifully. And the baby
suddenly we're in the OR.
you get comfortable, never ever
be.
taking a jab at anything because you've been humbled enough to know, like, I never know the outcome of this. No matter how many babies I help deliver, like, I'm comfortable knowing like that I have limitations and I'm here to support you and educate you and make you feel safe. Like that's really what the goal is.
Yeah. She was 2 centimeters. There's no way she could be fully dilated.
As a primate.
And the baby's like, wah! You're like, oh my God, I will never.
It is
You can never.
one of the best things about this field, though, right, is that it is continuously humbling.
Yeah.
And the amount of times, like, how many times have you sat around at a nursing station with your team and just shared stories back and forth of the time when you were wrong, right? Not wrong in the sense of like making a mistake or doing something harmful, but wrong where you're like, I could have sworn this was going to happen and I did not see that coming. This field keeps us on our toes constantly, right? And I think that that's true with respect to even interpreting the evidence, right? The evidence is constantly changing. And I think, and sometimes there have been many studies that have been done that have really turned what I thought was true on its head.
Laying down.
Uh,
That's still
It's still like, listen, I could do a whole, I could go on a completely nonsensical, like soapbox about laboring down because my heart of heart loves it. And I'm having a hard time having it pried out of my hands.
You
but
follow the evidence, because then it does become an opinion. That's the thing.
I loved it.
I'll be laboring down when I have my children.
it's good to have.
Right? And I will support you in it. And so,
we will tell you.
But you're going to tell me the evidence?
Yeah. Right? It's good to have our biases challenged.
Yes.
I love, at some point in my experience, you get to a point of being like, it's okay that I know I don't know everything. I don't have to know everything. It's okay that I'm wrong sometimes.
Yeah.
Okay to tell them I'm wrong sometimes. It's okay to be like, well, I thought laboring down was the bomb, but evidence says not. So I guess we got to shape. It is okay to follow the evidence where it takes us, and I think that's a healthy place to be.
I usually always say when my patients have questions and they're asking for, my advice on a particular situation, I will usually tell them, well, this is what I've seen. This is what the evidence shows. But how does that feel for you?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what the evidence shows truly. It's how you feel.
Yeah.
And if it matches what you're feeling.
And if they're aware of what the evidence shows, that's they're big people.
And
They're old enough to have a baby.
It's good
They're old
for
enough to make their own
everybody.
choices.
This is the thing.
It's not just good for them. It's also good for us because you don't want to walk home and be like, I coerced them into something.
No.
Whether it was a good or a bad outcome.
No.
You really want to walk away and feel like this was collaborative and they were in the driver's seat.
It's a really good way to put it.
And Kara, I know you might experience this as a postpartum nurse, but there's a lot of comments online of people feeling like they are being coerced to breastfeed their baby when they want to bottle feed. I don't know if this is something you want to touch on a little bit of how you navigate that at the hospital setting.
Yeah. It definitely happens. People will want to just pump. Like, they're like, I don't even want to put that baby on me. I just want to pump. And that's totally your choice. I do not care. Literally whatever. If you change your mind and you want to do something different, absolutely. I will throw everything at you and give you my all. But I will not fight you on it. And you don't know someone's story. If someone's had a trauma or sexual abuse in the past, I don't know, and I don't need to know. That's none of my business. So if you come in and want to do XYZ, I don't know. There's nurses who will be like, this blah 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 patient. Who cares? I literally do not care.
Yeah. Not your life, not your baby.
I would say 99% of nurses, we do not care. And that 1% is the one who will stick with you.
But trauma that you may have.
But you can, if that's not the right person for you, you can always fire them.
Can ask for a new nurse about how to do that.
We all have videos about how to do that. You can do it nicely. And you also can get someone else to advocate and do it for you. Your partner, your support person, whoever's with you. I think that's a good conversation to have when you're pregnant. Hey, if we run into a situation, whether it's labor and delivery or postpartum, and we need to dismiss someone, who's going to do that, how we're going to do that. We all have videos and talk about that. We don't need to dig into that now. But to answer your question.
And again, to be fair, most of us don't care.
We do not.
Right? Not actually, because it's not fair. Not every personality is a right fit for somebody else.
I'd rather not.
I've been fired by patients before. I've had patients who have had a better relationship with somebody else. They've just jived better with someone else's style of communication, with their style of practice better than me. And that's totally fine. That's their prerogative,
And I mean, like I said, it might be harder to fire your provider. If we talked about the maternal.
Yeah, of course.
There will generally always be another nurse to pick up and I always say I can feel it. I don't. People will say to me, "I had a great birth, except that one nurse." And you're like, I wish you get one birth with this one baby. It needs to be as close to what makes you feel content and happy and satisfied as we can make it. And if switching out a nurse, I would never be offended because I know I'm not for everybody. I'm not. There's no way you can be. Neither are you. Neither no one is for everybody.
No,
I am.
And that you already here. Where's this
for yourself?
Labor junkie RN for everyone.
I would be proud of my patient actually for advocating for themselves in that way. I would go home and probably be like, a little bit sad. It's just because that's a me problem. That's not a them problem. You know what I mean?
Feel that tension.
It's usually
You know when you don't
Yeah.
jive.
Yeah.
But
It's
Like
usually
usually okay. We know
Yeah,
that this
yeah.
is better for you to
too, like if I'm not for you, then probably the patient down the hall is not for the nurse that she's with. She's
Yeah.
your nurse, I'm her nurse, and then everybody has a way better
Yeah.
experience, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It needs to be. You get one
Yeah.
birth with this one, baby.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's a huge
Oh.
life-changing event. You want to try to make this.
And I'm going to throw this out there because I know that there's a lot of people who are like, they get nervous to put too many hopes up for their birth and stuff. Because, well, if it doesn't go the way you want, like, you know, I had a midwife say to one of my patients, like, because the birth was going a little differently than she'd hoped. And the midwife was like, well, birth's just a drop in the bucket. And I remember being like, that we're not going to diminish this. Like, it's okay. When you look at the time, right, it's on a, like, years, right? Yes. And the time of it, it's a day, it's 2 days, 3 days. A drop in the bucket, but it is one of the most important drops because it's going to kickstart how your postpartum experiences, how you maybe you're bonding with your baby, anxiety, psychosis, depression.
If you have another baby,
Any past trauma, any future trauma.
When you have another baby.
Yeah, and the thing is, like,
Will that
it's,
traumatize the baby?
were you
and they're
manhandled? Like, what did we? Yeah, were you ignored? And did we say, well, you're alive, baby's alive, everything's cool. Like, forget what happened from A to B.
Healthy mom, healthy baby.
It's my least favorite thing. So yeah, I think like that it's okay. Yes, it's okay to talk about flexibility. It's okay to talk about, you know, let's prep, let's hope and get ready for the best, but also pivot when things are going differently. That's okay. But I think it's really important for all of us to acknowledge that time-wise, drop in the bucket, time-wise, blah, blah.
That's an
It is one damn important drop, and we've got to get it right.
Yeah.
Because we are not going home with them when they're recovering from a stat section that was traumatic. So, like, they're on their own. At least in America, we leave them on their own for 6 weeks.
Yeah.
So, I
Same in
think,
Canada.
yeah, I think we and bringing it back to the nurse conversation and all of it, like, if you need to fire your nurse, because you're going to be recovering from however that day goes.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
Now, we've talked a lot about amplifying voices and empowering some of the stories that we've heard online from our patients, from our communities. But we also hear a lot of things that just make us go,
oh boy.
Like, I think we didn't quite get that one right. I think that's not quite on the mark. Are there any like myths that you've seen online that you feel like particularly proud of addressing? Any things that you see like that keep coming up that just really grind your gears a little bit? What are all of your particular online triggers? Yeah.
This is Jelly Bean.
Yeah, you start.
again.
You start first.
Oh gosh, where do I even begin?
Or whoever
I think
was off the top.
I mean, we had a whole little episode on this on the ick fit, like the icks.
Oh, that was a problem. Yeah.
That was a big issue.
problem.
Oh,
And,
yeah.
You know, it's repeated itself a couple times in different forms online, but that was a huge miss.
Why don't you tell everyone who's listening if they don't know what that is?
Yeah, so if you don't know what that is, basically I think it was a couple years ago now. I don't know. There was a group of nurses labor and delivery nurses who made a video basically saying what their icks were about the patients. So what they didn't like about their patients, and it was not good.
Yeah.
And it probably made a lot of women really scared of coming into the hospital. And there was one recently
Ick
with the
2.0.
discharge.
Yeah, with the
discharge, yeah.
The discharge.
That California clinic. Yeah.
There's still
was like great idea, guys. Great.
there's just been still variations of that
Yeah.
come out where it's like swing and a miss.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
it's like people make anything that makes fun of, mocks a patient,
Yeah.
anything is immediate like
Yeah.
Yeah, because what's the purpose of
Yeah.
that video? I mean, walking into an OB's office or a hospital or anywhere that you're going to be, you're supposed to feel safe. And then you turn around and you're scrolling on your phone and you see online people making fun of the discharge left on the drapes.
People are self-conscious enough, but also doesn't it just kind of give like beginner energy a little bit? Like first day on the job energy? Like who even has time to check? I'm ripping that paper off so fast. I'm wiping it down. Like I literally would not even notice. It just gives like
Totally.
First day in the
Like, is
hospital.
this
Like,
your-
first day.
Yeah, are you new here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like women are already, well, we were just talking about this
Hiding the
today.
undies?
We were already
Yeah.
like tucking our underwear. Even
Yeah,
though,
yeah.
like you're about to see all my business for some reason.
Yeah,
we're like it's so,
underwear under the
it's so
jeans.
inappropriate that I'm wearing a pair of panties. I'm going to hide
I've
them.
seen videos of people now ripping off the drape themselves and cleaning and making sure everything looks clean.
Don't do that.
It's already like such an ordeal for almost everybody. It's like no one's like, oh God, I can't wait to go get my pap smear. Like,
I feel like it almost comes back to that point in our conversation earlier about pack mentality, right? And culture. So it's like, and why it's important to broaden ourselves and engage in all different kinds of beliefs and thought processes and choices, decisions, races, all the things. Because when you are like so ingrained in your little pack, then there is such a thing as pack mentality, and you make ridiculous, heinous, disgusting videos. Like, would that have happened if they were exposed and it had a completely different accepting culture? Probably not. It doesn't happen to other places that have like a more safe, accepting culture.
Or would it happen if like one person in that pack was like, how's this going to make people? We do this all the time. Like the core group of us, before we make a video, we think, what possible way off projections
somebody
could go down the line, and what population could this affect?
And
we say
like we do, but you're right.
We say if someone's like, well, "Do you think it could come off this way?" And then we're like, "I don't know." And then if one person's like,
wait,
"When in
my
doubt,"
gut
they
is
say, "When in doubt, no."
Not a good idea.
If you have to question
We've done this. This is. We won't go into details, but there was one time where there was an idea, and we were like, "This is not going to land right."
Yeah.
And it hurt the person's feelings.
Yeah.
And we were like, "I would rather hurt your feeling
then
than
thousands.
this be misunderstood, and it hurts the whole women's health profession."
and that brings all of us back. Like we have to
We're
go
trying
back.
to move forward. We're trying to move forward. We're trying to tell you they're safe. We're trying to challenge other providers and other nurses to be a safe space and to challenge their coworkers when they're doing toxic things. And it starts here, right? So if any one of us has an idea that we're like, this could be taken, I know where you're coming from. I should hurt your feelings before I make anyone feel unsafe.
And you wonder, like, if one person had been like,
exactly,
why would we want to do that? Or one ick person was like, I don't want to answer that question. It's gonna make
you shouldn't do that.
And then they might be like, oh wait, you're probably.
It almost reminds me of like when I was in school learning about bullying.
Absolutely.
Like right? Like, don't be the bystander. Like, stand up. Say something.
Yeah, make
the same thing.
Make it awkward.
Well, on that note, like we want more people to get involved in this space, right? Like I don't think, at least as the newbie in this group, I have not felt this to be like a territorial environment with respect to like women's and gynecologic and obstetrical health. So we want more people to start entering this space, to start talking about these kinds of things online. We've kind of alluded to some boundaries, and so maybe if Sarah wants to share some advice on that, she could. But why don't we go around and
Sarah and her boundaries.
We need to be more like
tell our listeners, especially those who are in healthcare or who have like a story to share with respect to their experience with healthcare. What is some of the advice you wish you had before you got your first viral post, or one thing that you feel like people really need is really misunderstood that you would love for people to address? How would you have approached this field differently if you, like, what's your advice for the new voices out on the field?
You guys start. I would love to hear.
Filter your words in your settings if you need to.
Mm-hmm.
I have ones like hate, evil, like crazy
I
words.
raw dog Facebook for a year and a half before I filtered the words. It was
Brave
was a
decision.
bad-
I didn't know you could filter.
Yeah.
It took me being like emotionally brutalized for 3 days after a video of me with my childhood photos.
Right.
Literally that big.
And then I was like, I was Googling it at 1 a.m. how to filter comments.
Oh, God.
Kara was like, Sarah, you filtered. And I was like,
Filter them, and then like don't be afraid to like block. Like don't don't like carry things heavy and be like
block.
Oh, this is like, you just have to like block, and you have to move on and know that these are just people who, I don't know, like, it sounds so silly to be, but that's like, they're not necessarily like it's not a personal attack on you. It's just like they
No
want
one
to say,
has ever said to your face at the bedside, your head looks like a Tic Tac.
yeah, or but there's
Like,
nothing
it's
that
the anonymity.
it's something that someone hateful will say. I'm like, there's probably nothing you have that I want. I'm not like, oh, I'm so like taking that to heart. I'm like, I'm for one person you make upset, there's like 100 people who will benefit from something positive.
Yeah.
So you just have to like move on, and it gets easier the longer, the more you do it, and you learn to like be like, okay, brush that off.
Yeah.
Set your DMs if you need to turn them off. You can always do that. So
yeah, filtering the comments and setting your DMs is a good one.
Yeah. I see. I don't have my filters on.
oh,
You don't?
great.
No, I don't.
Oh, don't tell
I don't-
everybody that. Don't
I
tell the
don't.
people.
Yeah.
It's the only
I don't
filters
even
have.
focus on Facebook. I post and
Post and go.
because
Yeah.
it's the wild
It's
west.
bad.
Oh.
It's
Handle, and you have to
Yeah.
you are
do that.
you get
Yeah.
the most bizarre, random, nasty comments. It has nothing to do with anything. Like you could just post the most beautiful, well-informed,
Always.
great delivery, and they will just like something completely opposite. So yeah, Facebook's its own beast. But I don't filter them and I don't block people. I should block people.
You should,
but
yeah.
absolutely I should. And so that's something that I would like to change. You know what, my therapist, hello therapist.
We all do.
She always said,
Therapist.
yeah. You're therapy.
Shout out to the therapist.
Boundaries.
Yeah.
Fun, awesome. Get therapy.
Yeah.
Therapy. We all show of hands who's in therapy. I say,
Everyone needs therapy.
But I should be.
yeah.
My child has one. Highly advocate for it.
My children also have. So I said to her one time, I was having a real bad part of my life, and she was like, something has to give. Like you can't function at this rate all this time.
Forever.
And I said something like, but they have expectations, like they're expecting my
expect you to
content.
post.
And she looked at me and she's like, who's they? I was like, I don't know. Like you feel the pressure. So that is something I have to get better at. And just being like, I don't have
You
time
don't
for
owe
this.
anyone.
No.
Also, totally too, because I feel this. It's like, oh, I need to post every day. Like, you feel
Yeah.
urgency.
Yeah.
Truly, I've thought about this because there's been people I follow and I adore them. Some of them I know in real life. They will maybe not post for like a week, and they're like, "Hey guys, I've been gone." I'm like,
I didn't even notice.
did any of it? And
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
I didn't
have
even
that
notice.
weight. Nowhere in my brain have I been.
Yeah.
Like,
See,
people are
I
waiting for me to post.
I struggle with
I'm
that,
like,
and I know they're not.
Friggin'
Yeah.
I know they're not, but
Yeah.
like, I need to not.
In your that's definitely about like a mental boundary of my own. Who is they?
Yeah.
Think about that. Who is they? I don't know.
You don't. Owe anyone.
I want to say that if
Maybe
there's
that's why I'm so hateable. Hateable face.
Hateable face.
Yeah.
no, you got a lovable face. We love your face. But if there's anyone listening who's thinking about starting to post online, if they have a thought that they really want to share, I will say take the leap and just like do it. Do it.
And
If you've been
keep
thinking
doing
about it and
Don't
keep
just do
doing
once,
it.
but I didn't get anything.
Oh,
No, you
yeah,
have to keep doing it and just stay committed.
Yeah, and
Stay committed.
it's like with anything, right? You're gonna get better with it. We have all talked about this. We look at our content from like when we first started, and you're like, wow,
Yeah.
Why am I so weird? Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And so you know what? Like some of us have taken some of those concepts because they're great concepts, but taken the things we've learned over the past 2 or 3 years and applied it, and then made an even better version of it. That's even more appropriate, even more informative and impactful. So yeah, I agree. Like, there's a really good YouTube channel and he just says you just gotta press record.
Got to do
Yeah.
it.
Just push record. Like,
Yeah.
And
that's the
don't
worst-
keep all those drafts like
Oh my
post
God.
them. Post those drafts, you know?
You never know what's going to resonate with people. And guys,
Snowstorm.
stop harassing your cousins and just post the content. Right?
Again, if you don't post, like, and again, it may not pop off, but again, like, everyone's not for everyone, and just keep going because you're gonna find the people that you need to find.
Yeah.
And no one cares if you're like, oh, like it's cringy. Like, literally, who cares? Like, they're not
all
doing
cringy.
it. Are they doing it?
Oh, I think that all the time.
you
Like
know?
no one, anyone there that's judging you, or I'll challenge that. I don't answer a lot of comments, but once in a while I tell them I'm Spicy Sarah.
I love Spicy Sarah.
I love Spicy Sarah and her Italian spice.
Love it
like,
so much.
oh yeah. And so sometimes I will challenge them, and I'll be like, because like someone said something in one of my videos about. Like, yeah, because you were talking to me and I was like, hang on. I'm
Just
Spicy
recently.
Sarah.
Yeah.
And, like, they said something about, like, you know, the video was an important video about, like, it had a heavy message. And then they said something in the comment about, like, yeah, but boys are nurses too. You should say he, him. And then I just sat there and, like, this is what the point is. like, I think I responded something to the effect of like, you are welcome to create your own platform and build it from scratch and use he, him, all you want. I built this. This is my existence here is not your soapbox. You do it the way you want to do it. And so like very few people are out there as brave as like, I'm not saying content creating is like, like better than being a doctor or anything like that. But I'm saying like there is a level of like bravery involved. And boy, my skin has gotten very thick. I've gotten very good at just letting some things go and then knowing like where I will stand up for for myself or for my patients or for somebody that's being bullied in the comments or a Black woman in labor who is neglected,
It's so true. And on that note, I want to kind of round this out and finish things off with like on a positive note with social media. But what is a video you guys think about that you're extremely proud of, that you put out into the universe, that you're like, yes, that video I wish everyone could see? Do you have one off the top of your head?
I can be real heavy. I have one I made about like, I don't even remember what it was. It was like choking or something. And someone said it saved their baby's life.
That's cool.
That's wild to me. I don't even remember what that video was about. I'm really glad it helped someone. But I don't know. I don't know if I can think of any single one in particular.
Is there one you're really proud of? Maybe not one that like everyone should see it, but like one that you're like, that's a great video.
There's one that I really love is one, it's like such a silly skit, but it's just like your friend coming over and helping you postpartum.
Love that video.
It's so silly. That's just like coming over and just like making it about the mom and not the baby, and coming over and being like, I'm gonna help you, what do you need? And just like not asking, but like doing the things, like washing the dishes, folding the clothes, just doing it, and just being there to support. I had so many people be like, I never had this made me cry, like this is like wow, or like I'm gonna do this for my friend that I didn't know, and I'm like, that's like bizarre.
And you think of how many like thousands of new moms now have friends popping over with the coffee, doing the dishes, folding the laundry.
I hope.
So good, right?
Like you're on with the towel and you're following her.
You're following her.
I just
Cleaning up the blood on the way to the bathroom.
But we do it. We literally do that.
It's like just another.
And people are like, do people do this? Like we
if they're not doing it, kick them out.
every day. Mine is my birth trauma video.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I hope you do that one because I cry every time
every
I watch
time.
it, and I've seen it like 10
It's
times.
basically like you're watching the point of view of a mom who's going through a traumatic birth experience. It ends up in a C-section, and you're watching it with the eyes of mom. And the first nurse is the nurse that's rushed, that isn't thinking about the mom. It's just a number. She's just checking off the boxes. And then the second one is a mom that actually like takes the time to invest in the patient, and
the nurse who takes the time.
who really invest in making sure that mom understands what's happening to her, and so that she's not just a bystander in her birth. So it's the one I post, and people are like, this was so impactful, and so that always, I think, just stays with you. And so
I'm sure you've had nurses say like, wow, this made me change and be better for my
trauma
patient.
informed.
I spoke on it at a conference, and like now there are nurses that were at that conference who show that to like their nursing students and stuff like that. So because they're like, we can take the time, like we take that 10 seconds to make a difference.
When you played that video at Cap One, when we were at Cap One, the room was just in awe. You could just tell it made an impact.
And so I'm glad that I made it, because I wasn't going to make it. Like it was like the end of the time. I had rented a little place because I didn't have a studio at the time, and it was like the end of my time there, and I was like, I'll just clip this video out, and I forgot a piece, and I had to go back and record once more because I wanted it to be just right. Once you start putting it together, you're like, wow, like that's it. So it's my favorite.
It's a great video.
I love that video.
Oh, you, Sarah?
It's tricky because I have some videos about really simple topics like feeding bottles, burping babies, like simple things that have a broad reach, and I'll get messages or comments about like, I did not have parents, like I was in the foster system. I had no idea how to do these things. So I like that because it's a very simple concept, and in some ways I feel like for like 2 minutes I get to mother somebody and like pass on this like a little bit of like way to like lovingly do something on a baby, because people think like you come out of the uterus and know how to do that stuff, and you don't. It's a skill that's learned. So it's like a split, because I do want like that knowledge imparted on everybody, because I really do love families. But then I will say like I think probably my video that seems to have the most reach or been most impactful is like I have a video about about loss and bereavement. And I had there was a lot of interest in it. A lot of news stories were reaching out to me. I'm in touch with a lot of companies that volunteer for loss. And that one hits close to home in a lot of ways. And I think in one aspect, a lot of the comments are people who are this happens. People don't just
No
go,
education.
they had no idea.
Just every pregnancy ends.
Yeah.
And
then the other half of the comments are that happened to me.
Yeah.
And I had no idea. And then they're connecting with each other and then it's giving hospitals ideas on how to support families that have lost their baby. So I think maybe that's been the most impactful. And like I said, it connected me to a lot of the Caring Cradle, Bridget's Cradles, a lot of opportunities for volunteering and getting some of these things into the hospital setting. And then you guys know, my parents had there's 6 of us, and between me and my sister, they had a full term abruption and lost that baby.
Oh God.
And he was a 7-pound baby, looked like me, and it's been over 30 years, and we talk about it. And they still cry. And I remember I made that video and they started putting I might get emotional. Yeah. They started, they made a shadow box. Oh, wow. They pulled stuff out of his memory box and put it up on the wall. And they told me one day, they were we realized this wasn't just some horrible thing that happened to us that we had to move on from. He's our family. He's still in our family. And I don't need to just we can bring him back into the family. And I that was my parents who were 70. They're 70. And so when I took that to work, and I think this is, they're going to be remembering how I treat them until they're 70.
Wow.
They're going to be siblings after them that will hear about this baby. Yeah. So I think maybe that's the most impactful. But even the little ones, here's how to change a diaper, here's how to feed, here's how to burp. I think that's also impactful. And I wish that reached people who don't have that support. So
I will say your bereavement video, there's one in particular I remember seeing early on, and I think I was a very new nurse at that point. And I remember seeing it. And even as a nursing, a new nurse, I should say, I was so impacted by that video, and I was able to take things in that video and bring it to work and bring it to my patients and care for them in a way that I hopefully was able to impact them more.
Oh, I'm sure, for sure.
Yeah. So I want to thank you for that video
right.
because
as much as we hate that the Caring Cradle exists, what is it we say? We're we hate that it's there, but it's that we need it, but we're glad we have it. And think how many people have shared it, and how many families have been able with all the things from your video they've been able to use because of that.
Yeah, it's
incredible.
Tricky. Yeah, because it's I feel you don't want to exploit that experience and that trauma from other people, but it's that's a whole community out there that people don't even
that a lot
they're
of
walking
people
among
have
us
as well, right? Want to support people.
Yeah, I lost my best friend 3 months ago, one of my best friends, and I just remember being in the old days, you'd wear black to signal to people that you're going through shit, right? You can use kid gloves. You don't do that. No. Nobody does that for these parents. And so I'm going out there pumping gas, and somebody's treating me crappy or being a jerk, and you're just sitting there I'm very tender.
Very tender. Why is your day bad, sir?
Yeah.
As you hit traffic, I lost somebody close to me.
Yeah.
I lost my baby.
And then these people get out of the hospital with no baby, with an empty nursery, and you're no one knows that.
Yeah.
When they go to the store, get pads or something.
Yeah.
So I think, I don't know, I think bringing awareness, maybe helping the providers do things a little differently, and then letting people know that that's out there, and warming them up to the idea that exists, because someone in their life is going to experience that, and maybe it won't be so foreign and shocking that even happens. So
what about you, Sydney?
A video I'm proud of?
Yeah.
Oh gosh, that's a hard question.
That is a hard one.
I can't even think of one right now.
I just want to say this conversation makes me emotional because I'm so proud of the things that we have done because they're so meaningful. And these are all super strong, beautiful women who have hearts of gold and give their all every single day and give
too
their
long. I'm gonna cry.
But they give their time and their effort, and we take time away from our kids. We take time away from our spouses.
Yes.
We take time away from our hobbies. People are like, what's your hobby? I'm like, I don't have a hobby
Yes.
because right.
Literally.
And we do it because we love what we do, and we do it because what we do makes a difference. And I'm so proud of the women that you are and the things you have brought to these other women. And it's like women helping women helping women. And so I just like, it makes me emotional because it's like you are helping somebody that doesn't have a mom. You know, you are helping somebody understand something that it should be something that's done for everybody, but not everybody has that. And this is what it could look like. And so I'm just very proud of all of you.
You too.
Yes, we're so
You
proud of
too.
you too. This is,
Well,
we're all in it, doing it together and hopefully making change. And
it's amazing. Like, I'm just like, this is, it's just like an amazing group of humans. So, yeah.
we love you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Well, I feel changed by this conversation today.
I am so
Tic Tac.
Did you get anything out of this conversation?
Tic Tac, look at that.
Laugh about it now.
Oh
My goodness.
Yes.
Well, guys,
Yes.
I don't want to take up any more of your extremely valuable time or let our food that we have ordered go
Any colder.
any
Yeah.
colder.
Give up our time to eat. We know.
Yes. Yeah.
Thank you each so much, truly from the bottom of our hearts for coming, for joining this conversation today. It is so rich to hear, you know, the stories behind each of your accounts and what drives you, the purpose that you derive from it. And I'm sure there are, you know, thousands of listeners out there who will say, like, who can chime in the comments and tell you their favorite videos or the video that made.
I love it when people say that.
Tell everybody here, for anyone listening, we always ask at the end of our episodes for comments and questions. And by all means, please throw those at us too.
Yes. Do
But
it.
please also let these incredible women know, like, how they've impacted your lives and, you know, the ways in which they have made your experience in obstetrics even richer.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And thank you again. Absolutely. Thank you. And thank you to all of our listeners.
Yeah, thank you.
You guys, you can follow us on Instagram and TikTok at the.push.podcast. Make sure you do that. We also release a new episode every Wednesday. And why don't you guys go around and tell everyone where they can find you if for some reason they haven't heard of you before, which I don't know how that would be possible, but just go around and tell them where they can find you.
Okay. So you can find me on Instagram and on TikTok. I have an underscore. So it's Mama, M-A-M-A, and then underscore, and then nurse, and then underscore, and then Tina. Facebook and YouTube, there ain't no underscores because it ain't allowed. And then my website is bumptolatch.com if you are looking for more information or if you're looking for a prenatal or a breastfeeding or a baby care course. That's where I'm at.
Awesome. Mine's easy. It's Kara the Baby Nurse on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube. And my website is www.karathebabynurse.com. And I have a book. It's like a short, quick, down and dirty, everything you need to know before having a baby book. And you can get that on Amazon. And it's called Why Didn't I Learn All This Parent Stuff Sooner? And then I have a baby sleep course, which is Why Didn't I Learn All This Sleep Stuff Sooner? That's kind of long. It's very
Why didn't I know you had a sleep course when my baby was not sleeping in the middle of the
talk about it
night?
a lot because I don't want to be pushy, but girl, I give it to you for free.
Oh, God.
All her 3 kids sleep really well.
My
So does
kids
she.
do.
So does she?
I'm deaf.
Very loud. The sound machine.
Sound machine 100
Sounds like a plane.
plugs in with the loud sound.
But
Kara is the queen of a sleep routine.
Oh my God. I love it.
Not sleep compatible is what I say.
Yeah.
I put a movie on.
Yes.
that's
Which
my
you
nightmare.
get over
Sarah, back to business. Where can our listeners find you?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I thought we said Sarah, Kara. No, Sarah. I honestly don't know if I have underscores. It's Labor Junkie RN everywhere. If you just like put it in there, hopefully I pop up. And if not, you'll find a fake account that probably posts my videos. Go for it.
Oh,
Yeah,
goodness.
amazing.
I also want to throw in there, like, I don't know, like, if anybody understands the work that goes into a podcast.
Oh, so
I love podcasts. I listen to them constantly. They're like bring so much. They're a delight in my life. I don't do one because it is a massive undertaking. Like, they do all of the topics. They do all the talking points. They find the guests. They edit. They post. I just, like, I really appreciate you guys letting us just pop in and have fun and leave while you're doing all the hard work.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work. It's really amazing what you're doing. Thank you.
And where are you, Sydney? You need to tell everyone?
Yeah, if anyone hasn't followed me, I am at nurse_Sydney on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, all the places. And my website is www.nurseSydney.com.
And Meg?
Oh yeah, I have to start posting things now. I think. Wait, I do. I have
Oh,
Get up.
mercy.
I remember being at that stage.
You new here.
Okay, everybody. I'm Meg McGrattan, MD on Instagram, and
McGrattan.
Yes.
MCGrattan.
Brilliant.
And on TikTok, watch, my TikTok's going to open now and start
We
yelling
love
at us.
It's gonna be like some dance move.
I should probably also make them unified.
Like
You
a-
can tell this is like a novice stumbling
yeah.
through.
She's gonna open it and it's like, women,
Step outside. We just filmed that video today. It's so good.
On TikTok,
Yes.
I'm at Megan McGrattan, MD, and the Megan is with an H. One H, one A.
Which ChatGPT, she loves to not spell your name like that.
ChatGPT is really against us on that.
So if it's ever
A,
spelled
yeah.
wrong
Yeah.
in any of the
The AI.
captions or whatever, or not captions,
Yeah.
but like anything the caption of like TikTok.
That's captioning.
Sometimes it's ChatGPT.
She's making a
It's with
statement.
an H.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, guys, we're going on dinner break, but catch us next week and we will see you with another great topic.